Generosity is a powerful force for good. It can bring joy to others, strengthen our communities, and deepen our relationship with God. The Bible has a lot of cool things to share with us on this topic of generosity. Hey there, I'm Katie Jones, and I am a certified Christian financial counselor. I help believers such as yourself learn excellent money management skills that are rooted in the gospel. If that resonates with you, be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you too can be equipped with biblical principles on money. In this video, we are going to explore some of the promises about generosity and giving, and I'll also share some practical tips for how you can be more generous in your own life. The Bible is full of promises about the results of our generosity. So here are a few that I'd like to point out to you today. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Luke 6:38. This verse is a foundational promise for those who seek to understand the blessings of generosity. Jesus is clear here that our giving is not a depletion of our resources, but an investment in a bountiful return. If you have ever baked before, you may resonate with the imagery that Jesus uses here. Think about filling up a measuring cup with flour. If you scoop the flour lightly, it looks full, but if you give the cup a tap on the counter, or even if you press the flour down into the cup, you will notice that there is still room for more. So when Jesus says that your measure will be pressed down, shaken together, and running over, he is suggesting that you will definitely be provided for when you give. Essentially, this promise assures us that when we are generous in providing for others, this same provision will be done unto us. So take a leap of faith, even when it may not seem to make, financial sense, and trust that God will provide for your needs as you give generously to others. Make room for generous giving within your budget and know that God will continue to provide for you as you hold your finances with hands wide open. The generous soul will be made rich, and he who waters others will also be watered himself. Proverbs 11:25. This proverb connects generosity with material prosperity. It suggests that those who freely give of their resources will experience an abundance in return. However, it is essential to note that rich here doesn't solely refer to material wealth, but it also includes spiritual richness and fulfillment. The concept of watering others implies a reciprocal relationship where acts of kindness and support create a ripple effect of blessing. This promise implies that giving can enrich our lives in ways beyond material possessions. Building strong relationships, contributing to our communities, and experiencing the joy of helping others can lead to a rich and fulfilling life. So find time to develop generosity within your relationships through things like mentoring others, volunteering for community organizations, participating in church ministry events, or even supporting local businesses. Do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for with such sacrifices, God is pleased. Hebrews 13:16. People should serve for a heavenly reward and know that God will reward them for working with all their heart and obeying their masters. Ephesians 6:8. These two verses specifically shift the focus from material to spiritual rewards. They emphasize that our acts of generosity are pleasing to God and they are considered a form of worship. Giving is not merely an obligation, but a privilege that really does deepen our relationship with God. The promise here is a spiritual satisfaction and fulfillment that comes from aligning our actions with God's heart. Relationships are deepened with time, so be generous with your time by prioritizing acts of service in your life, spending time in the Word, and reflecting on all that you have to be grateful for. Surely the righteous will never be shaken. They will be remembered forever. They will have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. Their hearts are secure. They will have no fear. In the end, they will look in triumph on their foes. They have freely scattered their gifts to the poor. Their righteousness endures forever. Their horn will be lifted high in honor. Psalm 112, 6-9. This promise may not be as obvious as the others, but as you can see in verse 9 of Psalm 112, the righteous have freely scattered their gifts to the poor. Verses 6-7 express how the righteous have no need to fear because they trust in the Lord. They know that the Lord will protect them, and so they continue to be generous with those around them. It suggests that those who care for the less fortunate can expect God's safeguarding hand over their lives. This protection is not just physical, but also a protection against greed and selfishness from devouring our hearts. So a practical step that you can take is to continue to readily give to others, even when your financial future well-being may seem at odds. Practice being fearless with your giving, even before you may feel like you are actually ready to give. Being generous starts when you have little. They should be rich in good works and generous to those in need, always being ready to share with others. By doing this, they will be storing up their treasures as a good foundation for the future so that they may experience true life. 1 Timothy 6:18-19. This passage offers a perspective beyond temporary earthly rewards. Jesus encourages us to invest in heavenly treasures through our generosity. These treasures are eternal and secure, unlike earthly possessions. The emphasis on the heart reveals that our priorities and values are deeply connected to our giving habits. By investing in eternal rewards, we are aligning our hearts with God's kingdom. Focusing on spiritual growth and making a positive impact on the world can bring lasting fulfillment. So consider legacy giving, support organizations with a strong spiritual foundation, and even prioritize spiritual growth over material accumulation. By understanding and applying these biblical principles, we can experience the transformative power of generosity in our lives. Remember, generosity is not about giving until it hurts. It's about giving freely and joyfully, trusting in God's promises. Generosity is one of the key elements of a gospel-centered financial plan. We as believers can make an incredible impact for the kingdom when we not only focus on generosity, but when we design a financial plan that is centered on similar biblical principles. Through the Redeeming Your Finances course, you will learn how to have a holistic gospel-centered mindset as you develop your financial plan. You'll be equipped with what the Bible says about money and how you can practically apply it. Learn more about the Redeeming Your Finances membership by clicking the link below.